The final Smash Bros. Direct on November 1st came with many bittersweet feelings. People were happy it was around the corner and that we wouldn't have to be anxious for more news afterward, but once the Direct arrived, it left a pretty bad taste in many viewers' mouths. There are a variety of issues that need to be discussed because I have some thoughts. This isn't a direct review, though I will share my opinion as we progress through this video. Instead, I have some words about how some people have reacted, why a lot of the frustration people have is misplaced, and some assumptions that have been made that need to be addressed. I won't keep you waiting any longer, so let's get started. Though I actually liked the Direct, I will not come to the defense of its format. I don't think it was wise to structure it the way that they did, opening up with their final newcomers first, especially leaving Piranha Plant for the end, but I'll get to him. It should be said that Ken and Incineroar aren't bad inclusions, but there are two problems that came with their debut. 1. Without a doubt, they do not stack up to the likes of a Simon plus King K. Rool reveal, and 2, because everyone and their mother already knew that these two characters were in the game due to leaks and insider information, which significantly reduces the hype generated by their reveal. The Grinch leak also plays a pretty big role in planting false expectations, making people hungry for more than they were about to get. Obviously, there are legitimate reasons to find this Direct disappointing, but for a lot of people, the Grinch leak set their sights too high. Public reaction to these characters' inclusion was overall obviously positive, but the news shortly after that these were the final characters to be found in the base roster planted the seed for disappointment later in the Direct. The perception of Ken and Incineroar is less, wow, how hype, and more business as usual inclusions, especially because most people already knew they were coming. I'd normally talk about all the newcomers together, and that includes Piranha Plant, but I'll save him for last for reasons you'll see later. I saw a lot of complaining about spirits initially. The only issue I saw was that there was a little too much time devoted to showing people how spirits would work. Multiple examples of different battle conditions were shown, and they didn't really need to do that. People got the point after the first or second example, but they just went on and on. A lot of negativity brewed from this mode, though. A lot of people complaining that it wasn't anything like a Subspace Emissary, calling it a weak mode on its own, and many sarcastic remarks like, "Oh, I can't wait to collect JPEGs of recycled artwork." Despite this reaction, I think Spirits is a great single-player mode, and certainly an improvement on Smash 4. Smash 4 had, Mastering Crazy Orders and Smash Run, Smash Tour? Smash 4 had no notable single-player content whatsoever, so it definitely gives people playing alone something to do to differentiate from the normal Smash modes. Having an expansive world map single-player mode is certainly more than I could have hoped for, even with reused artwork. The main draw of this game is everyone is here. Every character in Smash's history comes together in one game, and many of them, as well as stages, have been modernized. I would have been totally unsurprised if there was a lacking single player just like in Smash 4, but what we got is certainly more than I hoped for. There's also been some discussion about spirits and whether or not they deconfirm characters. Some people have pointed out that there are spirits for King K. Rool, male Wii Fit Trainer, and Snake from what we've seen, and thus it won't. I'm probably on that boat, and this includes Mii Fighter costumes, by the way, since we've seen Mii costumes for characters that are playable in-game. I do want to say that I think in the case of the Geno Spirit specifically, I do think this reduces his chances of being DLC. I think this because Geno is a third-party character, so if they were going to go through the effort to get the rights to make him playable, I don't think they would show him as a spirit. I could be wrong, but that's just my theory. If you thought I've been a bit tame, this is where that ends. I did not appreciate the reaction people had to the assist trophy reels. I've seen this from so many people, and I hate it. Stop saying that a character being an assist trophy is disrespectful. I wouldn't have minded if, Isaac was playable, but it blew my mind how many people were complaining that he was an assist trophy. And not even because they just wanted him playable, but because, according to them, it would have been better if he just wasn't in at all. The most common phrase was, why remove his assist trophy in Smash 4 and then not show him as an assist in this game until the very end? They gave everyone false hope. It would have been better if he wasn't an assist at all. It's a slap in the face. Let me break it to you. Thinking that they were giving false hope to people simply because we had yet to see Isaac and Shadow is simply an arbitrary assumption that you made. Nothing more, nothing less. Just because we saw Knuckles and not Shadow did not necessarily mean Shadow was going to be playable. You set yourself up for that disappointment. That is only your fault. Look, I get it. When your character that you want to see becomes an assist trophy, that moment of pretty much confirmation that they won't be playable stings. I get it. But do not conflate your hurt feelings with your perception of the intentions of the developers. Obviously, they don't put assist trophies in the game with the intention of being disrespectful. It's obviously the opposite. Whether or not assist trophies exist is not going to increase the likelihood of your character being included. If there were no assist trophies at all, we wouldn't see Isaac and Shadow at all. Assist trophies are an acknowledgement, a way for fan favorites to make a cameo. Those who have acted in the way that I've described are 100% being immature, or at least when it happened were being immature, and did not temper their expectations. And I say this as someone who's had one of their most requested characters turned into an assist trophy as well. Which brings me to the DLC and the Rex Mii costume. Some people have said that 5 characters is too little, but it's really not. Excluding the veteran DLC in Smash 4, there were only 4 original characters, Ryu, Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta, and they all came with tons of extra detail attached to them. They really went all out in making those characters. Getting 5 purely original characters for Ultimate's DLC is definitely par for the course. I've heard some theories that these 5 characters, whoever they are going to be the first wave of many. There is merit to that theory, since Splatoon 2 to this day still has content updates, new weapons, specials, maps, and expansions long after a year since its launch. So it's possible that these 5 DLC characters are just the only ones planned for now, and that they will expand on it in the future, especially if the DLC proves to be extraordinarily successful. Sakurai has said before it's not really up to him to decide what he gets to work on, that Nintendo is pretty much in charge. If they crack that whip again for additional DLC, he'll probably end up having to do it.
I wonder if I'll ever get to take a break.
That said, I will act on the assumption that these 5 are all we're going to get. Some people have commented that though Rex is a costume, this isn't a hard deconfirm for Rex as one of the 5 DLC, but it probably is. I don't see them adding the costume as the feature of buying the DLC passes together rather than separately. If Rex was going to be a character, that doesn't make any sense. Why make the costume a benefit of buying the pass when the character himself is in the pass? On the topic of Rex, yes, I am very sad to hear he isn't in the roster, and even more sad to see he's likely to not be DLC. This is again something that people got really upset over. Don't make the mistake of thinking that they didn't want to make Rex playable either. They know about how much he was wanted. Sakurai himself loves Xenoblade 2. Even he would have wanted Rex in. The fact that he wasn't simply means that they couldn't, not that they didn't want to. This becomes even more apparent when you see how much time they took talking about Rex and Xenoblade 2 representation in Smash. It almost comes off as a consolation. Literally as soon as Rex's costume was shown, Sakurai pretty much said, yeah, we couldn't get him in the game. Sorry guys. I say this, again, as someone who absolutely loves Xenoblade 2 and adores Rex. He is like best boy. So yes, I was sad about the news, but I also totally understand. But hey, if anything, this nigh confirms that if there is a second wave of DLC, he will be there, or if not that, he'll be in the next game almost with 100% certainty. Piranha Plant. Ooh, I don't think the amount of anger we saw during the Smash Direct would have happened without Piranha Plant being added in at the very end. Again, I really don't think the structure of the Direct was wise. I'm trying to put myself in other people's shoes on this. I'm trying to imagine seeing Piranha Plant added as a bonus character right off of the heels of deconfirming many beloved characters like Isaac, Shadow, and Rex. I certainly see why that left a bad taste in people's mouths. However, I think claims that they could have used that time they spent on Piranha Plant on someone people actually wanted are a bit misguided. Just look at Piranha Plant. Look at the simplicity of the design and the simplicity of the moveset. Hell, even his final smash is ripped straight from Brawl's Petey Piranha boss. I promise you, this character did not take much extra time to develop at all. And he's not even part of the 5 DLC characters we're going to get later. Even if they didn't create Piranha Plant as a playable character, there wouldn't have been another character in his place. He's only there because he was convenient and easy to do. Also, it's simply promotion for their My Nintendo service so people can register for the website and give people a reason to buy the game early. Simple as that. I heard people say that this was more disrespect. Some people cried in anger. I actually saw people crying in anger that Piranha Plant was in and not other characters, and other even more extreme reactions. Like, okay, I don't care about Piranha Plant. I don't. But because I knew that he was very easy to make and didn't encroach on any other character's inclusions, it really doesn't matter to me. What doesn't make sense to me about the reaction, though, is that everyone knows Sakurai always includes a joke character for every entry in the series, and now that we got it, everyone's upset. These are the same people that would have been happy about Chorus Kids being in the game, but they're going to complain about Piranha Plant. I actually don't understand that. Usually I have some sort of central thesis I try to get across in my videos, but this one was truly sort of blind ranting. But it's only fitting considering it's a response to what I see as blind rage. Some people have calmed down a little bit now, but the level of entitlement I saw during the Direct was honestly unreal. I left that Direct feeling pretty positive and thought, you know, there are some reveals that would bum people out, but for the most part, I'm sure my sentiment is shared by a majority of people. But it wasn't. I was more disappointed to see the entitlement and immaturity come from people who I expected more from. The worst I saw were some fools on Twitter claiming Sakurai does not deserve a break, that he made no attempt to improve the game, and that Smash Ultimate is just a glorified remaster of Smash 4. Look, I understand a lot of these are just knee-jerk reactions that people had in the moment, but come on. How do you even rationalize being that petty? I was happy with the Direct, and normally I'd end with a cheerful goodbye until next time, but this just got me downright gloomy. I am very disappointed that so many people had to act this way. Smash Bros. Is a game that's made for all ages, and when I see the entitlement, immaturity, and childish screeching of people in response to this Direct, it really, really shows.